Good afternoon. Welcome along for this hearing for the Environmental Health Bylaw for the Invercargill City Council. I'll declare the hearing open. There are no apologies. Any declarations of interest from the committee members? None? Excellent. We've got 3 submissions to the bylaw, one to be heard, and that is the submission that we have from the National Public Health Service, and I think joining us via Zoom we've got Tom Scott.
Correct.
Welcome along, Tom. Thank you very much for the submission, first of all. The next short period of time is yours to speak to it.
All right, well, I'll just share my screen if that's okay.
Please.
Okay. You can see that okay?
Yes, we can.
Right. As I say, we saw this opportunity as sorry, I'll just go back one step. My name's Tom Scott. I'm with the National Public Health Service. We were once Public Health South, and I'm actually here standing in for my colleague Laura Pope, who's away on holiday, so hence I'm joining from Dunedin. Whilst I may, I'm talking sort of at a level with a reasonable understanding of what happens in Invercargill. I don't have the same local knowledge as what Laura would have. So yeah, you have to just forgive me of that, because I'm certainly not a...
Thanks for that, Tom.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay, so the bylaw is, I'll just play the slideshow. Okay, the key points relating to the bylaw are food trucks and healthy food. That's probably the main point that I make. Got a smaller matter relating to litter and alcohol ban areas. So just to acknowledge that the definition of unhealthy food is that it's usually processed and is high in salt, fat and or sugar. It's what we refer to as unhealthy commodities, and it sort of joins the ranks of other unhealthy commodities that we know of, tobacco and alcohol. And one of the reasons why it is unhealthy is that these unhealthy commodities give rise to non-communicable diseases such as heart disease, diabetes and obesity. They're increasing both in New Zealand and globally, and Invercargill's no exception. And just to acknowledge that for these non-communicable diseases, they don't fall equally across society, and in fact more poor people tend to suffer the effects rather than those that are more well off. Food trucks, I can't really speak specifically for Invercargill. You may have some particularly good ones, but I think food trucks often exclusively sell unhealthy food. Food trucks often have a captive market that can be in the poorer parts of town. Food trucks will often be where there aren't the food choices available. They'll be at rugby games and things, and events and things like that, where there aren't necessarily the choices available, food choices available. And we just sort of acknowledge that certainly through the fee arrangements that are charged for the licensing of these food trucks, we're just really suggesting that we encourage or incentivise them to sell healthy food. And by if you want to put a definition around healthy food, it's just really that complies with the New Zealand nutrition guidelines. Going on to litter, we certainly very happy with the wording of the bylaw that supports food truck operators being asked to remove any litter from the vicinity of their vehicles. we also believe that this could be strengthened by asking them to provide their own rubbish bins. And the second to last side, we fully support Invercargill City. You guys have got a very extensive alcohol ban area, and I think you really need to be commended for that. So, that's really where I'm at the moment with the questions. So.
Great, thanks, Tom. It's I'll just go back to some of your comments around food trucks and your suggestion that we incentivise healthy options. I'm not sure about now, but I do have the chair of our Wellbeing Fund committee with us. Previously, when the mobile food retailers were, no, sorry, let me backtrack. Previously, when event organisers were staging events at which there would be mobile food vendors, the question was asked if there would be healthy food options provided. I'm not sure if that remains the case for people seeking funding for events under the Wellbeing Fund, but it might be something that the City Council asks that committee to look to reintroduce. It wasn't ever a mandatory requirement, but it did at least trigger the thought process. I guess my observation is that mobile food vendors have come a long way from the days of just the old hot dogs and chips on offer, and there's quite a variety now, not hiding from the fact that some of the items in some of the trucks are still prepared in deep fryers with sugar-laden batter. So the points that you raise are really valid. My question would be, would you support us seeking the Wellbeing Fund Committee to reintroduce that question and its funding documents?
Yeah, I mean, any incentive really that you could use to push them in that direction, I'd certainly very much support that.
Any questions from the committee? You're getting off lightly, Tom. It's the right. It's the right day to stand in for Laura, who we certainly recognise as a regular submitter to our processes. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us via Zoom this afternoon, and thanks once again to National Public Health Service for taking the time to make a submission.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Rhiannon, at this point, given what we've heard from NPHS, nothing vastly different from what sat in their submissions. Are there any alterations to the suggestions that have come as a result of the submissions received?
No change to that, which is already included in the report.
Thank you. Right, let's get to the motions then.
I'm happy to move 1 to 5, with 5 being agrees with the following proposed change.
Great. Thank you, Councillor Soper. Parniat, thank you. It's open for comments or discussion. Some of the recommendations in the bylaw follow what we've looked for, and thanks to staff for following up on that. I think the fact that there've really only been 2 submissions, and one of them I found a little challenging to read, says I think we've got it pretty right. Trish?
For the recommends to council, do you think perhaps we should note what Tom said about the wellbeing request for the fund, or not?
No, I don't know that we do. I think as the chair of that committee, that's something you can instigate.
Yeah, let us go. I've made note of
But
it.
yeah, thanks for asking. Rhea, you almost had that look on your face like you had a comment there.
I'm not sure whether I want that look or not, but the second submitter that didn't want to be here today, I'm not sure it's the right place, but I just don't really understand what he was asking of us to consider. He's got in here to take into account Māori food, iwi and hapu. In the last street market we had in East Street, that was well and truly included with leaving with a hangi, and there were healthy food options. So I think you're right, Mr. Chair. Food trucks have come a long way in the last 2 decades, and as a type 2 diabetic, I certainly find healthy food for me to have.
I think what Brian was suggesting would actually be difficult to achieve in the first instance,
We
and,
can
and,
only encourage.
and overreach.
Yes.
And I think you're right, Pani. I think encouragement
Sorry,
is a
encourage.
greater way of getting change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that.
Any other comments? If not, it's been moved and seconded. I'll put that all in favour.
Aye.
Against?
I'll
Carry. Oh,
also
sorry.
move number 6, the
Thank you.
recommendation to council.
Now, do you want to include that in the? Because I'll move it separately. So, recommends to council to adopt the bylaw with the changes as agreed to in resolution 5, seconded by Ria. Any comments? Put that then, all in favour.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Gosh, I wish all submissions processes were this efficient. Thank you for giving up your time to go through the documentation and coming along this afternoon, and thanks to those who've joined us on the live stream. I declare the hearing concluded.